All right, guys, we are talking about having a squad again. Now, I think it's super important to make sure that you have a good team around you when you start up your business. Okay, we're talking about your lender, we're talking about your escrow officer, we're talking about your go-to credit guy, all these above. So today we're talking about having a really good title company. Now, with that in, we're going to bring in my good friend Bridget. She is the best closer in the game, in my opinion. She helped me when I was a young pup, just trying to get started in the business. And I'm going to do a quick interview with Bridget Denison. Let's go. Hey, Bridget, how you doing?
Great. How are you, Sasha?
I'm good. I'm good. I cannot complain. Here's the deal, guys. I'm gonna put Bridget's information down in the description of this particular video. But let's just talk about this. I think it's very important in this series that we're talking about right now, having a good squad. Okay. You need good lenders, you need a good title company, you need the whole 9 yards. So, guys, when it comes down for me, um, when I'm trying to close on the deal, I try to get every deal to go to Bridget, whether it's my seller or it is my buyer. I want Bridget trying to handle everything. Why? I love the way she works. Love the way she works. It's super important. All right, so let's get into a couple questions about real estate. So a lot of brand new real estate come onto the channel, they watch what we're talking about. So let's talk about what makes a good real estate agent in your opinion. What makes a good real estate agent?
Somebody that really cares about their clients. You're going to try and get them the best deal. You're not going to talk them into something they don't want. So you're going to
Yeah,
truly listen to your clients and help them get their dream home or help them get the sales price that they wanted for their home and be honest with them. I think honesty and just
isn't it weird that we have to say that? It feels weird. It feels dirty to just say that, but honesty, God.
yeah, honesty and communication. Everybody wants communication, and you know, just be there. Be in there for your
Being there.
client. Yep.
So let's stick with communication for 1 second. Tell me about a time when you had to walk through a transaction, the agent just completely just ghosted. Was it a buyer's agent, a listing agent? How did that transaction work out?
It makes it very difficult when the agents aren't communicating because then I have the buyer and the seller calling me and
Mhm.
asking me these questions, and a lot of times, like I'll know some of the answers, but I don't know what was this, I don't know behind the things that's going on with a real estate agent and their clients. If the real estate agent is completely ghosting their person, I I kind of take over in a sense. Like I'll reach
Yeah,
out to the lender because I want to make sure I'm doing the best I can for that client. Whether the real estate agent is or the lender is or not, I'm going to do my very best. And I'll do what I can to get a hold of the other person. But I kind of
right.
charge of that file and I make sure at least on my end it was done 100% right.
Yeah, I can attest to that. Bridget does take charge naturally, naturally, and that's a good thing. I mean, I rather enjoy the fact that she takes charge. Matter of fact, because once I get my client under contract, we've been working together so long now. I'm just like, okay, Bridget's got this. I know Bridget's got it. I stay in my lane, guys. I really try to stay in my lane. I just let Bridget do what she does best, and I try not to get into the lender's lane. And Bridget does a good job not getting into the lender's business until we have lenders who aren't communicating. Then it becomes problematic for her and well for everybody really. So the lending team and the title company has to balance, right? To the penny, is it to the penny?
Yeah, it
To the
has to be
penny.
100% matched before we get to the closing table.
Yeah, because you don't want to get to the closing table and then the numbers aren't exactly right, and so those numbers do change quite a bit. And a lot of buyers don't get that. They get a preliminary number from a lender, and then they get another number, then another number, and they always complain why these numbers are changing. Like, well, they're getting closer with your taxes and things of that nature. There's a lot, um, but Bridget gets that call a lot too, and so I was having to field that call. So even though that's not your wheelhouse, you still have that vast understanding of how to explain what's going on with their clothes. Because I've seen you do it so many times. I've seen you do it so many times.
Yeah, yeah. I say in communication through the whole thing. So as long as everybody's communicating, like the lender will let me know, hey, this is what's going on. This is what we're having problems with. So if the buyer calls me or one of the agents call me, I can say, hey, this is what I heard from your lender. And you know what? They might need a couple of more days.
Yeah.
Great. Like, it's when we get to the day of closing, and I don't like scheduling appointments unless I have that balance CD, because it's just poor customer service. Scheduling that appointment and then having to cancel it the same day they were supposed to show up to closing or the night before. And to me, I would rather say, hey, let's push closing on a day. If you need an extra day, let's push the closing out just one extra day so people aren't getting, they're going to be a little upset because we got to push closing out. But I would rather have them a little upset than saying, they're on their way to the closing table and get
then
the
it doesn't happen.
saying, oh,
Yeah.
we don't have everything we need.
I was to say, Bridget's trained me that I know when I send a contract over, get her my buyers and sellers information as well. Like, I didn't do that at first because I didn't know. I was green. And then she showed me this form. I was like, oh, okay, let me just put this in part of my process to make sure we get that over. Same thing with a seller, right? You gave me a form for them to make sure they get their payoff information, right?
And the seller's form will also let us know, on there's a question. Are you married to the other person that's on title? Are you divorced? Are you single? And that's stuff that we need to know. And the faster we know it, the faster we can get a clear title and get a closing.
Yeah.
If I don't know that stuff ahead of time, it could delay closing, especially if there's a divorce involved and or a payoff. Some of these payoff companies, I mean, we've been pretty lucky where they're 24 to 72 hours turnaround time. But ones where you have that extra grant, like the NOVAD payoffs or solar panel payoffs, they can take up to 10 days to get sometimes. So the quicker all the information is filled out and provided to me, then we know that closing is not going to be delayed because of that.
Right. So my fellow agents, I want you guys to understand something. Your escrow officer is not against you. Okay? They're not. You need to understand when deals, in my opinion, when I start seeing deals starting to fall apart, it's usually because there's a lack of communication somewhere. And let's say if you're on the listing side, okay? If that seller hasn't truly been honest with you about if they have liens or solar panels for that matter, what that means, your job as the agent is to go figure that stuff out. You need to help them figure out and get through this, especially the solar panel thing, okay? Whether it's a lease or it's a purchase solar panel, we need to have a good, vast understanding what happens in that contract. Can that solar panel transfer ownership? What happens for the transfer ownership? That's a big one. A lot of agents don't understand that. And you literally have to read through every contract, every solar contract to understand it because it's different per deal. Okay, so that's a big one. But who actually owns the property? That's another big one. Don't just take it that they own that property. Look on the tax records, right? But where else should they look, Bridget? What would you say?
I don't know if you guys are allowed to look at their drivers. Well, that's just to prove who they are is on their driver's cert. But recorded documents are a public record. So you can go on the county's website and you can pull up the warranty deed or deed of trust.
Yeah, super important, guys. Super important because you don't want to sell somebody else's house who's not supposed to be selling that house. Okay. All right. So I know we went kind of long in this particular video, but I could talk to Bridget all day about shopping and what she's been able to do with her business. Her business is phenomenal. Guys, one more time, you can reach Bridget. Her information is down below. Okay. You need a squad. If you are here in this area in DFW and you don't have a go-to title company and a good escrow officer, she's right here. She's right here. She takes care of all of our clients at Chatman Realty Group. We greatly appreciate you, Bridget. I know our clients appreciate you, and she'll take care of you. Brand new agent or someone who has a lot of business and needs somebody in their corner, she'll get you. All right, guys. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Peace.
Bye.
So let's get to know Bridget a little bit, okay? All right. Time for some off the wall questions. You ready?
I'm ready.
What is your favorite food?
Seafood, like
Seafood?
shrimp, lobster, and then you have to add a good steak to that.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Cool. What is your favorite dessert?
Something chocolate. So you can win me over with chocolate ice cream, brownies, anything chocolate.
I did not know that. Okay. Okay. All right. Now, how long have you been an escrow officer?
Almost 7 years now. I've been in the title industry. Escrow officer. I've been 6 years. And it takes a little. You need training.
Well, how long have you been in the title business now?
Just about 7 years I've been in
Oh,
the
7 years?
title
Okay.
business.
So you moved pretty quickly then.
Yeah, I knew what I wanted and I knew what I had to do to get there. It was a lot of hard work. It was before and after hours work. So I put myself on a fast pace to get to where I wanted to be.
And you're originally from where again?
Upstate New York.
Upstate New York. All right. So they do real estate very different there.
Yeah, we have attorneys handle our real estate, and it's a lengthy process.
It is. All right. And you've been in the good state of Texas for how long?
8 years now. Just about
Right.
8 years.
Okay. And here's another off-wall question. How many chickens do you have right now?
I think I'm down to 27.
Yeah. Guys,
There's up to like
sometimes
35.
eggs.
Yeah. What's that?
I said, Bridget, sometimes she'll bring me some fresh eggs, guys.
Yes.
She basically got a farm going up over there. So, and how many dogs do you have right now?
I have 5 dogs. I got 1 cat and 2 cows.
So it's easy to say that you're an animal lover.
Yes.
I have no idea how you do all that. Do what you do, as much work as you do, and I know you do a ton of work, right? And then you go out and do that at the house. How do you balance all that?
I don't know. To me, it's not as hard. Like, people look at it and they think, oh, you put a lot of work into it. My husband and I set it up where it's pretty easy, so once a day, we're going out, I get home from work, my husband and I go out there together and we collect eggs and feed the chickens and make sure the cows have water and some extra hay. And we play with the dogs. They get, I don't know, about a half an hour of my time in the morning while I'm getting ready. And
a great partnership helps. That does that.
Yeah, I have a good husband.